Labamphana kwabona lekwenteke kibo nasasifika abasafuni nalokukhuluma sebashintshile abasaba understand ukuthi hawu kani kwentekile yini noma akendeki.
I feel like nanabo women sometimes why perpetrate gender violence njengakhaya. Umntwana ukhula nentombatane expect yena kuba yiwoman kanzi vele makwakhe is a girl. Noma ke lo kufanele kusingabe ngubaba wakhe is a boy, because what makes you a man and what makes you a woman ukuthi you responsible for your actions and your words. Lento ayingagcini ukuthi you are a pastor in church, but you must be a shepherd. Not a shepherd for the flock, but a shepherd for the sheep. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Two representatives from different communities. Can we have your names?
Sanibonani.
Hello.
Nginonhlanhla ngimalothwala ngiqhamuka emsakatweni weMaswati ichannel yeMaswati television.
You're welcome.
Nami ngivusele mina ngipastor Sidwell but ke ngingibewule nhloni igama lami ngomhla.
Pastor Sidwell.
Siyabonga mbale Mhlanga. Yes, we are gathered today deliberating on GBV issues. So we'd love to have that relaxed conversation or dialogue, discussion.
Yes.
So that we understand a lot from our stakeholders, which is you, on the issue of GBV. Can I just start with Babe Mhlanga? What's your understanding as a religious leader in terms of gender-based violence?
Yeah, well, I would say, let me say simply, I think gender-based violence, I would say according to me, it's just a violation of a right. It could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be mental, because some people who come to me, they've been violated. Mentally disturbed.
Yes.
Yeah, well, issues of GBV, even in my early biblical times, I think Genesis chapter 34, stories as Dinah and the Shechem, Lord sons are Dinah, and the Walalana, Yabana, and Khan. Yeah, beautiful stories about Amnon and Tamar. HPV really is something lebe in the lebe corner even in challenge Babylon. My scriptures so I would say yeah, HPV who violate how ban violate mentally or violate physically. Ish corner for some violate even financially. But well it's not good.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, which means you acknowledge there is GBV.
Yeah.
Even in a church setting.
There is.
Yeah.
There is.
Okay.
Maybe as we go back to our media here, we understand that you have got different approaches that you use in the media houses with relations to reporting gender-based violence cases. But probably in the ones that are already on the ground, do you see gaps? I'm not trying to say but maybe from your training, from your orientation, from how your media house does things in the media houses that we have, because we understand that you guys are brothers, sisters, and cousins, you work together at one point. But do you have the gaps, few of the gaps that you have noticed as a body to say, ish, so maybe what gaps do you notice in the implementation? Or in the reporting of the GBV cases?
Okay, ngiyabonga sisi wami kokuqala nje lengingakuveta ukuthi i-training yimvo lengathi ayikho kahle. Since ukhulume nge-training nje kuqaleni, le training asikavami kuba nawo lawo ma-trainings laba khona ku-rare. Uyokhanze ukuthi labo laba trained maybe sebahambile sekufikela abanye kani ngibuka ngazuthi for ukuthi i-media itokhona ku-reporta kahle on ama-cases abo-GBV nale training kube yimvo lehlala ikhona sadi ukuthi senda ini like nala kule media space kungatrainwa ukuthi kutrainwe ama-reporters etindzaba kuphela kutrainwe bonke labaka-entertainment batokhona kuba ne-understanding kutrainwe labenta tindzaba kutrainwe almost everyone and esisakhuluma njengaloku thini lesikubone kakhulu ukuthi kungazuthi kuyingcinamba and labaningi bakhona bagcina sebagijimela cishe kiwo umsakado wethu ngesizathu sekuthi lesingisi ngiyo info lengazuthi iyabashaya thina siye si-report ukhathi si-reporta leti info labantu abadzala abeva nalokhu sisikhuluma ngani and yokhathi sekuyingcinamba thina ungazuthi sifocuse ku-youth kuphela and le youth ngiyo letawusiva nasikhuluma ngiyo letawu-understanda lo munye lomdzala laphana lo mfana lo sesemncane akeva nalothi sikhuluma ngani ungazuthi siyatikhulumela nje thini and labanye nabo labatsinsekako lekumele ukuthi kuqale kusukele kibo kuqala khona lokho wakhuluma nge-root cause ukuthi kusuka kuphi indlela lesikhuliseke ngayo abeva aba-understand sisebenzisa social media yethu si-youth and kulwa-ke nemvo angeke sisistawulwa nayo thina sibakhulu abasha kuphela nalabadzala funeke sibafake lo mlibalo sakhula lo mncane funeke siwu-include lakhathi bakhona ku-understand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
But as you highlight the issue of Emma trainings, I'm also trying to pick up Kuti. Some of the things are not in your scope.
Yeah.
Some of the things you're not reporting. You can report a car accident. You can report tinyonga yanoshekashis. You can report tinyonga letilumemamhlambi. But with the sensitive issues, GBV included, you probably need that etiquette to say, that netiquette per se, to say, this is what has to go to the public. As it is, yes, but kube ngiloku cacako ukuthi sikhuluma nge-GBV nyalo and nangireport nje le issue, we as a phephandaba noma as a TV channel, this is also what we're hoping for. We're advocating for GBV to be reduced. And it's not just us giving out the news out there, but also as a channel, there's that small spectrum of hoping and releasing our news, but we're giving awareness out there and also highlighting that GBV, I guess GBV we should stop. So maybe I want to ask Uti, is there support media houses except for the trainings? Because we're also noting that we need trainings in the media houses. What other support do you need? Or maybe, I'll make an example. I think I saw a headline that says, so how much teens claim to be raped at area somewhere. And I've been to the area. I personally, protection for the podcast, but personally I've been into the area and I know that it's possible for the 13 girls to endure that type of violence. Because the last time I was there, 4 of them were violated and I saw them. They took them away while I was there. We had an activity there and it was highlighted. And the community members didn't even report because you are found as a sellout. So as I saw the headlines that claims, it sounds like something that is, it's like fetching water. It's like going to the shops. It's nothing to them. It's claims. And the way you are reporting the news, it's like you are also part of the society that doesn't believe that this thing happened. So maybe the support that I'm talking about is centered around that into the media houses. Do you want the trainings to be behavioral change trainings internally for the staff? The trainings, Guti, how do we really report GBV cases? Or maybe any other support that you can think of.
Okay, I think it goes back to lama trainings. Okay, na trainwe le sive le makhaya, utrainwe na le media. Tine uyukhanze ukuthi nasiya emakhaya sesivile ukuthi sekunendzaba lendekile. Kude lelo funa kukhuluma. And then stories reportile thina e-office ukuthi athi siyokwenda na story nasi lo claim utawugcina sonke nangaloko vele sitawugcina sesithi they are claiming because kwathini asikho sure.
You couldn't verify the data.
Exactly. Labamphana kwabona lekwenteke kibo ba nasasifika abasafuni nalokukhuluma sebashintshile abasaba understand ukuthi how kani Kwendekile yini noma akendeki. Uthi angifuni ukukhuluma mina badoze kwentekene. Uyabona ukuthi nje wonke lo muntu akasiko comfortable uyasaba. Umntali uyamkhulumisa akafuni ukukhuluma. So yeah, kanti la support ibuyela le kulama trainings ukuthi nayo singaqala nje sitraine kahle lesive traine kahle nala be media. Maybe kube nekubambisana thide. I don't know kwamina ukuthi ngawuthi ilahleka kuphi. But lokusaba vele kukhona and see media singasho ukuthi siyayidinga kakhulu le support. Lenye i-support maybe mina lengicabanga konje lokwe idea ngiloko ukuthi le media isekeleke ekuthenini kube nama programs entertainment programs la tokuzela kakhulu kulethi indzaba tabo GBV kube nabo kube kuningi nje lokwentekalako lembo iyabonakala ukuthi seyimvo ye live lonke indzaba yethu sonke indzaba yamhlaba wonke so singakubukeli phasi kungene kube nema stories la khulunywako mayelana netindzaba tabo GBV kube nema soaps la khona like kusale kusetshentwa ngako nje kuze ingqondo talaba mfuthi tawuvuleka donke and singabashiyeli ngaphandle labantu labadzala le stigma siselaki kakhulu basengathembi nakahle ukuthi lena iGBV unabona as a norm ukuthi babe kufanele ashaye umfati why because babe is the head bonke nalama sompeni basesebancane nje labakhona lokho understand labanye baba bevangaza ukuthi kwamele vele umfati akahloniphe just because umfati kwamele kubeka so umthana noma ngabe lelungelo seliyanyatheleka but umphana at the end of the day nabe baba wakho ufuna kulala nawe wena you are a child so
I'm dependent on him.
Exactly. So kusekhona vele la kulahleka khona so ngiva ngazuthi le media ingafaka sandla ngokuthi kube khona le ma platforms lamaningi la setshenziswa khona le ka media ekulwa nale GBV.
Okay, that's very interesting. I think I'm picking a few issues. One, you talked about your high staff turnover. So even if this group was trained, the other one was not, which means it's something you require to be done annually or periodically, maybe times a year, because you never know who wants to live when in an organization, which is a fact. Then the other one is the issue of, okay, fine, we're looking at your clients, the people we are serving. How about your internal policies? Do you have them in your space whereby they address GBV issues?
Yes, we do have.
Probably the code of conduct, your organizational ethics, as maybe as I coach and type it. Signing my contract. GBV at the workplace, you do not sleep with everyone. Do not sleep with people here. I'm just making an example. Do you have small structure like that one?
That kind of etiquette.
Okay, well, okay, lengakuveta ukuthi akubi ukuthi maybe
specific,
but then akubi specific, but then siyatshelwa ukuthi okay la in this company kude ukuthi maybe senjolana nodwa. Then you may find ukuthi bantu bagcina sebakwenda but ke ukhathi anjeliwe nje info lengakabhalwa phasi kusho kona ukuthi akusiyo info lekuthiwe isemthethweni fana njenge advice ukuthi nje no siyan advise ukuthi lokhu nalokhu akungendeki.
Okay, which means you'll be our ambassador then to advocate for the written rules or the policy in the organization. Then I also picked the issue of ethics. You would call it ethics by not telling the nation what you noted at my household while we are at your line of duty, to say being violated one way or the other. Are there ways of breaking that kind of an ethic? Because you'll be like, you don't want to embarrass me, you don't want to embarrass the community, or you don't want to taint your channel or your organization. Is there a way of breaking that? Because that's where everything is hidden. I underlined the statement when she said, you then report and say, so-and-so claims was raped by her boss. And Slapo, you wrote that statement because you don't want to be implicated yourself, but you have that conscience to say, but it needs to be said. But no action. Is there a way of cracking that? Because I will frame it as your ethics. But under that ethic capsule, there is a lot that is collected inside. Please say something on that.
Okay, well, meaning at kwami kutoba kulkhunyana not unless kube nalo mthetho vele lotawushiwo ukuthi okay nangabe sekunestory lesika so khona lokubili ningakhona ukuvoice out nikhulume ukuthi bani kwenteke so kuye kulikhona ukuthi mina ngingacabangela because I might lose my job. Uyabona kulikhona nje ngeke ngisukeleke ngihambe ngiyokhuluma ngemuntu ngifake igama lakhe noma ngabe yena ushido what if sekangijikela sekathi hey no angake kulikhunyana so kanti kungaba ngilo.
Maybe coming back to our religious leader. I'm Sunday school teacher, by the way.
Okay.
I'm also a well-devoted Christian. So, what are the ways that you have noticed in church? Probably some of them are being reported to the body or the structure. The ways in which churches prevent gender-based violence. But before then, maybe you can start by making examples of gender-based violence cases that you can note in church, and then outline some of the ways in which we try to prevent after it has happened, post after that, sebenjani. Ngiyafika nje ngalo mina ngiyakutshela ukuthi lo baba ungishayile into. Lo baba into lo ungishayile ukuthi kungena imali ngangamchazeli. Kuthi yani, kanti nami le mali idukile. Lo muntu odukisele imali akasashayi. Uyabona? Your husband, your other boyfriend has sent you the money. That time it's an e-wallet. I don't have the number where I'm going to say, I found this money and I'm calling you back. So and when I get to church, you bring out the verses. And then you say, women, the Bible says until the altar until death do us part. Let's go home and fix it. When we get there again, he beats me.
Okay, well, I would say, like Nshito would say, these cases of gender-based violence, early biblical times, but also kulama records, like Proverbs. Proverbs ukhuluma ukuthi even the men now they are violated.
True.
Into le ndekayo kakhulu kamedia asengicala nje ngalokuncane lokwendekala kule reporting media. Kuvela ungazi ukuthi people are being violated is the girl child.
Yeah.
And also the boy child is violated. Problem really like actually leader a problem parenting. Okay, well, coming to examples. I mean, kukwaban esonde kwa reporter andu labang 3 sexual engagement labang 3 particular labang 3 I discovered with most people that have been violated fairly aba report because labanye basaba ukuthi yabona now violated uba ufungathi humiliated ngathi no naked yabona so into njalo kukhona this lady wakhala cishe kufanana exactly ukuthi ngafaka imali mina sondweni ngafakela yena lo mali yabona ukuthi ngicela ukuthi anake yabona labantwana lapho so babe yena wabona problem ukuthi lo mfundisi uphanjani manje yabona wayangatshela mina ukuthi utopha wena imali lo babe ngaleso sikhathi akekho sondweni yabona so but ke so just nje ngi-highlight ama examples then lokunye futhi lokungathi kuyangihlula man angathi ukuthi lento singathi kuyini noma kumbe singathi gender based violence noma singathi but ngathi ukuthi kuyi gender because gender based violence umuntu umviolate ngenxa ye gender yakhe khona lo munye futhi in church nje umntwana nje omncane ukhala ngokuthi gogo wakhe ngiyamethuka ambite all names because of gender yakhe yabona but kulabanye labafuna akakwendi lokuleka kwenda kuyo. I feel like nanabo women sometimes by perpetrate gender violence nje ekhaya yabona ukuthi sombita ngethi mhlamba ambitilene lo munye lo mfana there was 3 ngoba i-issue lefaka ekhathi ke umfana yabona where this guy beyane problem ukuthi beka ngathi beka nemngane nemumfu lo mngane nemumfu umdzala lo sisikunaye then ke walala naye because yena une anger against imbotsa yakhe yabona kunjani so walala naye lo mfana lona but lo mfana wagcina safika esigabeni sokuthi akasasiko comfortable because lo sis akasavani ukuthina abe netintombi letini so ungazi ukuthi aka focus kuwe ngizama ukuthi ke while sikhuluma indzaba le gender based violence, it's a very important thing, important issue lena lekufanele ukuthi siyinake as a church and futhi siyinake as a country. But at the same time singabaleki kakhulu from the boy child, because boys don't report. But bese nawubuka ama-suicide cases, most of ama-suicide cases are the boys than the ladies. Sometimes the ladies can't also know about contribute futhi ukuthi kulokunye babe violated. I'm sorry to say this, but I've seen it. Because some of them ngiyabekisa nje nayi lenye into bese ngikhohle kasesondeni nekende ayisondeni lami but kuvekelenye isondo bangi-invitile, then lo sisi wase utaka imuntu ongitshela ngenzaba le into ke kumntwana wakhe. Uyabona lokho ukuthi lo sisi lo knowing ukuthi ibhuti usebenza enhlangano asuke la lo sisi ngoba ufuna umsebenzi awuhlala enhlangano afikile enhlangano so uhlala ka boyfriend enhlangano. Boyfriend phela u-expecta ukuthi ngeke silale nje ukuthi sitawulala nje. Uyabona bosisi nabobhuti lana kunenkinga la because we are of different gender
attractions.
So sisi lo yena abetlalela ngamajini nje yabona for about 2 weeks, such that guy lo wagcina yena vele sekamcosha kandlini ebusuku wathi akaphuma ebusuku, and isisi waphuma ebusuku bamthatha lecingo wesidlani bamrape futhi. But nathi uyayibuka lento ukuthi isuka kuphi, usuka lo longatrainwa kahle ekhaya uyohlala nemfana, uhlala njanje nemfana. Mfana uhlala endlini and ngoba nangabuye uhlala endlini kanti umfana vele nanayi phela unama feelings. Uyabona ukuthi nanayi usuyamlimata ekugcineni wagcina lo mfana boshwa. Waboshelwa ukuthi nguye lo ucalela umkhuba kanti umkhuba ucala ngilosisi. Ngisho ukuthi ke as a nation, as a nathi ma-organizations esikhuluma ndzaba abo gender based violence, which is very important ukuthi sikhulume ngako ngoba vele into ledindeka, and futhi the cases that have been reported are just a tip of an iceberg. Kuningi lo kungareport because lokunye kwakungisho batali bafaka sandla ukuthi bantwana babe violated. Lo make wadi very well ukuthi lo make lo mntwana lo uya enhlangano uyohlala na boyfriend. Uyabona?
Indirectly condoned.
No, yeah, but nje clear nje ukuthi umntwana nami uya enhlangano uya boyfriend, umntwana 18 years. Uhlala boyfriend lona 27 years ngaleso sikhathi. Boyfriend ayifuna. So I'm trying to say, as a church, mina nje le ngiyokubona mina kuyangisebenzela. I think futhi nalabanye bafundisi ngabasebenzela. Ukuthi lento ayingagcini ukuthi uyayipastor in church, but you must be a shepherd. Not a shepherd for the flock, but a shepherd for the sheep. Uyabona? Because kunaka abantu akusithi. Ufuna ukuthi unaka umuntu ngamunye. Sometimes nomfundisi you need to know ukuthi lona why angede sondeni, what's the problem? Ukukhanza ukuthi akayisondeni uviolate ngilomnye lo la sondeni. Mhlambe ngilaba labadlala ama keyboard. Uyabona? Mhlambe ke ngilomunye lo lapha praise team. Mhlambe ngilabanye bomake bela sondeni they call their names ngenxa ye gender yakho. Oyingwena ngwadla, wena njani yabona? Into lethu ukhanza ukuthi kufuna ukuthi ngathi umfundisi nje kube khona lokulandzelela lo muntu ngamunye.
And somehow narrowed down to be a parent.
Yes, vele ugcina uyi-parent because labantwana labaningi bede ma-parents lekhaya. Lo mntwana ukhula nentombatane expect ke yena kuba yi-woman. Kanzi vele makwakhe is a girl. Noma ke lo lekufanele ukuthi ngabe ngubaba wakhe is a boy, because what makes you a man and what makes you a woman ukuthi you responsible for your actions and your words. So if your parent is not responsible for actions and words, lo mntwana wentaba yini? Because iBhayibheli lithi bafati Tanzania lithi bafati thobelana amadoda nemadoda Tanzania bafati, alisho ukuthi mfana. Uyabona? Kanzi lo muntu sola akazange akhiwa lo mntalo wagcina nje ngekumntala wangafaka itinto kulo mntwana. So lo mntwana indlela akhula ngayo yena ukukhulisa nehlathini, ngoba empeleni lento le gender based violence nje issue ye gender based violence kahle nje kulahlekele spirit of ubuntu kwakhiwa kwaso sakhiwa ekuqaleni ku socialization. Uyabona? lokuthi umntwana nje afunze kusukela ekuqaleni angikhulumi into le sengidawugcina kunapho maybe ngifuna ukukhuluma into nje lenye lesingayinaki but kugcina kuhlangana umntwana lokuthena kakhulu ekuseni noma nje ungumake wena uhlala nomntwana lomncane umfana wakho nabo 3 years uyageza la endlini kwanroom lo mntwana ukhona lo mfana uyabukela hayi umntana my boy at 2 years yabona wena upromoter i-gender based violence lingeke ivele nyalo lo vela maybe emva kwabo 15 or 16 20 years uyabona wena wafundisa umntwana ukuthi abe responsible hey phuma la endlini ufuna kugeza phuma nje uyabona even your girl child naye kufuna ukuthi umcoshe nje endlini la ufuna kugeza you must be a parent hayi lokho ukuthi songumngane yabona kwalo kuba umngane ukuthi umngane walomntwana lo mntwana must be your friend you mustn't be a friend to the child if adzinga i-punishment nakufuna phumela ngaphandle uyasuka lo mfana lo abone tindwe longamela atibone uyabona from i-parent yakhe athi nakabona lo munye afune kubona lento lekayibona kuma wakhe lenye la bese uyamrape lo mntwana kanti lento yacala nguwe wena umntali wakhe avele isilwane uyabona isilwane sakheka parenting letilwane temamvumba takheka parenting letilwane temathatha parenting.
Thank you very much, Baba Mhlanga, for bringing up those issues. But you seem to have a lot from your community.
I'm sorry, I'm writing something on the same matter.
That's nice. That means you do your research and your analysis.
I want to ask, do you really push them to reporting to Mapoiseni, to our organizations, or SWACA, or wherever? Because you have seen it at your religious setup or environment. This is what is happening. Nyalabanu cases that are almost close to 10 at a goal. If you can sit down with you the whole day, we can be perplexed to see the numbers and the number of cases that you guys are experiencing in a week, in a month. Do you have the age to go and report to say, now guesses you have told me this. It's not a church matter now. We need to scale it up. We need to involve the state in terms of reporting to the police or to whichever organizations for help and support. Do you do that?
Okay, I think the problem never comes. Some ladies don't report when they're expecting a financial gain from the same perpetrator. Uthi nje lo munye hey yathini go and report okay ngiyayiva lenza but asambe somreporters nginganifundzisa.
I'm sorry to be like it's now a dialogue umfundisi. I respect that and we all know that. But let's look at it from your office. According to Isodo, the fact that you have heard of it, maybe you have even witnessed that lady coming to church with my bruises and stuff, and you said, shame, I understand because at the back of your mind you remember, she told me. What measures do you do, Lapo, to say I don't want to be an accomplice, whether she wants to report or she does not? It's a wrong thing that needs to be escalated to the next level. Can we shift our implementation or our response to that, or how far have you gone in terms of reporting, escalating it to the relevant authorities? Because that's a state issue now, it's no longer a church matter. There are issues that you can deal with at church level, but others really need the state.
Okay, like all parents, vele kuyendeka ukuthi report. Uthi shati kune issue le kanje. Okay, kukhona lapho ngingamreportela khona lo muntu. Bathi shati nomntwana lo ukhale nganenza banayi. Lendeke ekhaya. Yabhuti wakhe lo lala naye bhuti wakhe wa babelo munye lala naye. So manje nabathi bayombuda lo mntwana abanye lapho athi na ukendeke but nje labanye babo vele nginako futhi ngiready lokuthi nangabe umuntu angicocela istory leso ma reporter because I know the numbers. I want to toll free numbers SWACA and amaphoyisa yabona. I know 9999 and I know le ukuthi ngingareporta but nje kubiya kunakho leka kwakusho made personal ukuthi lenye problem lekhona ukuthi seyithi lenkinga ayikhona bese lo victim uthi inkinga ayikho.
Yeah.
Can I preempt? Yeah, I think we agree on that one. But the moment you report and the survivor, I would call her a survivor, is brought to book in terms of, okay, let's just say you just report to SWACA. SWACA has psychologists, all the people who could help the child relate the story, because ngeke sivele story lesingemanga ngemphana, especially for such a big thing. He or she can lie, you stole my sweet, you stole my pen.
Yeah.
But that one is too big for an under 5 or someone who's 10 years old.
It's sensitive.
So can we encourage your office to say, if you happen to identify such cases, just take them up? Because we have seen a lot of underreporting. I also wanted to put you on the spotlight in a way and represent the male population. Baba Mfundis, the male population is not reporting, not at all. That's what, much as we know GBV is skewed to the women's side, but we have a lot of cases whereby women also violate men.
Yeah.
But the men will just think twice and say, this one will affect my masculinity, I just won't report. What can you say that, and how can you encourage that in your community, like in your church setup, to say, people, we need to report?
I think that is sensitive on my part. I was once violated. And I didn't report it. Yeah, I didn't report. I think ngahlala nale issue for more than 3 years. I didn't tell anyone because there's a time when I was preparing for marriage. But I didn't tell anyone at home ukuthi sahlukana kanjani. Yabona indivele mina ngizange reporter. Maybe ngakuveta kancane ngabe singakhuluma lokusho ukuthi kwendekani. Because yabona we preparing for umshado. Sisibe ngifake isandla ke kufundzeni kwakhe yabona. Paid for school fees. But isaba ne problem ukuthi ngiyabona ngazuthi vele there's something sekhona lo munye umuntu. Ngafuna kumuka ifone. Estradini vele nami bengiroom yabona ufuna kumuka ifone. Athi ngifuna kumuka ifone estradini never 3 days later bangibitela i-meeting le family yakibo. So I thought ukuthi bafuna kusihlanganisa ngoba basilungisa umshado. Kwahlalwa nje bonke kwathiwa cha bekunene sihlaliselana ukuthi sidokusho ukuthi umntwana wethu uthi akasamthanzi umhlaba. Sukuma ke wena uthathe iring yakho unike lo mhlaba. Yabona ngahlazwa le family yabona ingane le family. Ahlazeka lapho ngangakhona ukuthi sengiphuma ngihamba ngithini lambi kwabo yabo banginikane kudla ngakudla. Alimala emoyeni wami. Endi make nakathi umshado ngithe umshado asenime kusalungiswa kani ngeva ukuthi alimala la mina ngizange reporter vele wagcina nje kuphela bongangathi ngembutana manje lokho ukuthi ke bengikufundisa athi nje kabhlungu wathi baby wami tokubhadala ngenkomo. So kwaba kanjalo yabona yavele wangilimata yabona. So ngita ukuthi mina nginako lokho ukuthi labanye if kukhona lokwendekile kakhulu the male part ba report either kithi sibafundisi ngiyabhekisa because nathi we like parents yabona because sihlala nabo labantu vele most of the time noma ngabe kuleka bathandazela umkhukhwini sakhe emasondo sibeke emathende sibeka nabo yabo hlangu kunisound sinabo yabona into le. So I would say kibo aba report noma ngasiba reporter ke majayeni manje sekwafana into nayimalawu nemagoma la msondweni kani ngilapho bokhanza ukuthi bese kuvela khona letinto umuntu umvo ngisho wakhuluma yabona imvotsa le violated uyiva ngisho khuluma lokunye ungayibona emsebentini yabona indodza lithanza kusithethisa emsebentini imvamisa uhlushwa ngumkakhe lekhaya imvamisa
So
nangathi nje ulanzelele ngaphandle imvamisa uhlushwa ngumkakhe ngiko lokumenda ukuthi emsebentini nje ungathi uyathetha nje namhla ukukhahlela yonke into yabona. So sengisho ukuthi kahle lo vele mina I encourage men ukuthi yathi let us report hayi ukuthi sireport ukuthi sifuna kusekhlisha ama scores ukuthi nathi we are being violated but sireport ukuze ukuthi labantu laba lelibana lomkhuba babonakala ukuthi kudilwa njani nabo and futhi nanawo lo mthetho awube nawo ukuthi umbophe wonke umuntu yabona hayi ukuthi kube ngilokuthi kwaba email ayi sekufront sebafakile front page kwaba i-female akusekho ku front page page number 4 kwakha enga la the male child kuba neenga uyabona kuba neenga ngoba kufuna ukuthi sitane so kahle ndifuna ibe nje ecaleni kulungiswe lesimo zemntwana kulungise lo mduna simo se
maybe as you try to come up with your closing remarks. Mfundisi, thank you so much for what you've shared today. As you close, I'm going to start with her, but I'm just giving you a brief so that maybe ungasimbathisa kancane mhlawumbe usiphathise nathi sihamba ukuthi what support does the church need with regards to fighting gender-based violence? For me, I'm Sunday school teacher for I think since I was 19. I've seen bantwana laba violated. Ngikhamuke mina nginabantwana laba ngithungiswe ngamateam. But my kids, I just give them dresses, they go to Sunday school. Where bagezile noma that's violation. Because you need to take care of the child. Mbana akhule abe athi nakangena ka junior youth. Umbona ukuthi hey, this one after school she does a lot of things including drugs. But as a parent you just don't care. The day it gets to here, as a parent, I'm sure you're going to trash her until she even forgets her name. So Mshaya was what and when he gets back to school, so but you should have addressed these issues earlier. Your keyboard players, after that, there's no money, and then you tell them goodbye. Your skill is for Christ. Your ushers, you give them your theme colors. I'm just making an example. Your ushers, you give them theme colors, but you know I'm not working. What do you think I'm going to get the theme colors? Obviously, I'm going to go to Sipo will violate me, but as long as I have theme colors to go to church. As there are many issues of violations in church, and they are so slim in a way that we even forget them. As a pastor, you are using your authority to share young girls here. Even if you are a pastor with no wife, the assumption is you are preparing them for wives. You find that there's sexual gender-based violence in church. And it's broad now. As a woman, I can be violated in many ways, but also as males, in very deep ways that you cannot even explain. But maybe as you close, what support do you need as the church? But I'm going to start with you because I want to understand that as a media house, probably working together with them because there are also conferences that are coming up. You come as a media house, come to church A. They have an end of year conference, probably a camp for the kids. As they do these lessons, maybe also as the media eventually, let's work together. Let's fight gender-based violence together. Maybe as you close also, there's something that you omitted or missed out during the podcast and you can share it now. But any closing remarks, any contributions or any call to action to government and different CSOs on the fight against gender-based violence?
Okay, thank you, Sisi. Mina ngicela nje ngikhulume nemfundisi, maybe angakhona kubonisa labanye abafundisi nemabandla. Imedia iba nebulukhuni kusebenzisana nemabandla nebafundisi most of the time. Tibitendlu sethi mabandleni kakhulu rather than emakhaya. So ukhanza ukuthi noma ngabe khona lesi sikuvile ngalelo bandla noma khona nje vele lokungahambi kahle. Baningi bakhontala zomfeni bayakhuluma bayasho. Nase sifika lekibo noma ngabe bayayadi bona. But actually signal committee hamba kubani uye kubani nabani ukisa kubani bani kumisa back sebadlala ngawe. So le story ugcinwa akasitholi kahle but labazalwane bayasho. And sekulukhulu lokubhala noma lokusho ukuthi lapha kuleli bandla lali ukuthi noma ngabe singasho ukuthi sital protect albandla ngeke sivede uyabona but still abafundi nje lokukhuluma ukhanza ukuthi abasibambisi kahle ngandlela thide so ukhanza ukuthi vele when it comes to emabandla nje nathi si-media sigcina singakhona ukusebenzisana kahle. And then another thing is sinetinhlelo thina tebafundisi kakhulu on television, on radio, angati-ke emaphepheni, but nje tiba khona vele tinhlelo letiba khona. Then ukhanza ukuthi ma-clients ethu lawo nangabe sekukhona lesekwendekile kwendeka lapha kulela bandla sinasikhuluma ngako thina siyi-media seyiphumile i-client angeke basachubeka basebenzisane nathi they bathi asayifuni i-channel emaswati asayifuni Swazi asafuni nje just because lokutangithinzana nabo. Why? Because thina sizame and asifuni nalokuhlambalala because i-media bamfu sebayithatha kabi sebathatha ngekuthi thina sifuna ukukhuluma lokubi kuphela. Kani akusiko kanjalo kulokunye sizama
they say channel emaswati is news unfiltered.
Lokunye sizama kulungisa but ngalokuthi abasasibambisi nathi asisadi ukuthi sitakukhuluma sikuthini. So bengingacela lokho nje Mr. Mhlanga ukuthi manje nisikhulumele ukuthi senisibambise ngandlela thide. Nasingasuka nje nayinzaba yetibite endluleni kale emakhaya nasemabandleni maybe kunengi lokungalunga. And then another thing is ngika media ngingumuntu nami nginema feelings nami ngiyabova buhlungu ngiyathinzeka ngomfundisi naye ungumumvu njengoba sekasichazile nje Mr. Mhlanga ukuthi naye uke wadibana nato tinkinga. So la kule training lesithenga ukuthini ngicabanga ukuthi sithenga even counseling of some sort. I don't know how because kuyendeka sidithole sesithatha aside mina nje kuyendeka ukhanze ukuthi ngiyoshootha story and ngiyambona lo make ukuthi uyahlukubeteka uyacilateka uyabo mina ngibona kanjalo ngihamba nalenye i-journalist lemflomfuni yena uva ngazi ukuthi yavele uyathelela lo make nasithatha nje ukuyoshootha le story siyacala siyadiscuss ngilawubona khona lo thi kunenkinga I'm taking my side ngithatha side I mean mina ngithatha side la make na yelo uyathatha side la babe. So le counseling siyayidinga nalokuthi sengilimele already ngithi nangibhala lemfo sengibhala longa khona kufunza kahle ngeunderstanding ngitawubona ukuthi lana yini ngathi leli side selithetha because sekwendiwe info leyikile yendeka kimi uyabona mina sekuyang affecta ngandlela thite lemfo. So I think like le training neke maybe si connect trainer ekuthenini si letindzaba nasititheklisha ibe khona indlela yokuthi ngiunderstand nje ukuthi akusimi phela lo lekhulunywa ngayo sengilomunye umuntu maybe nebafundisi bepho because Mr. Mhlanga nje kule story last sheet kusho ukuthi maybe if kungafika anyone lomunye umflomfuni okhanze ukuthi lelo kuba inkinga kube ngoye lo mflomfuni but nakafika xoxela Mr. Mhlanga story seke ukuthi ish yathi mina sekwenteke kokuthi nekokuthi obviously talithatha side lakhe because ukhumbula lesa story sakhe kani akusafani ngindeka khathi this one was wrong kule case le uyabona. So ngicabanga ukuthi in a way sithenga nje counseling kwathini nathi nje sitawukhona ukuqale sikhona ukusebenza letindzaba
because also with letindzaba you find that you guys are the first ones to actually get into the scene and what you're going to find there is not preparatory enough for the third person to just view it and say it's news for me. It gets straight to the heart sometimes. Sometimes it's personal. You think of your relatives, your siblings, and at times you even want to fight the perpetrator. Like why did you even this is a 5-year-old, what were you thinking? You know, so maybe also we are taking that as our take-home message to say it's not only about what we are expecting from the media, also what the media is expecting from government, from other supporting structures, and also the pastors. Also because we also need trainings for the pastors. I feel like we need trainings for the pastors. You need to be oriented not to take a woman back to the perpetrator at home. It starts there. When we have the camps, sensitize young people. Tell them what is gender-based violence. Let's not talk about our Genesis and our Jones and Genesis all the time. Let's talk to these real-life issues because we are going back home where we are going to be facing and tackling these issues. But maybe I'll give you this opportunity as a closeout.
Yeah, well, okay, thank you for the opportunity. Now, I would say, I'm just asking Yafisa. Koguti must deal with gender-based violence in Zabalenga Silly nice in Zabalipshu.
Yeah.
Sigu Segani Luguti, the problem was Lomag, Lo Shubetegil, Sitarabelem for Loba. Then what about Lobab, Meton Lomag? because uyabona la kulabafundisi incumbi yabo bahlukumete abafati babo uma ke mfundisi bahlu
yebo
bahlupha bafona ebusuku no sengiyasho nje ukuthi mina kahle kahle ngalokuthi ngibe nenhlanhla ngakhuliswa ngimake uyabona make wangifundisa ukuthi mina I'm the only guy ekhaya so kunama girls la 4 sometimes ngiyakhona kumemkhathini into le wrong yabona nje lokho ukuthi bomake bahlukumeta amafotha ku wrong yabona lo ukuthi bomake labanye bahlukumeta emafotha ku wrong uyabona labafundisi fana kuyafuna ukuthi vele nibe nesikhathi nisifundzise ngalento le yabo gender based violence neyokuthi ke thina how do we noma kumbe singa react kanjani kahle kube ngama focus groups of some sort yabona si kube usibe okay sivungaza ukuthi ngendekani then bese ke siya present sibuze ngabe kumbe lesikupresentele ngeke bese kugucuka kuba documented and maybe bese kuyasitala omunye umuntu in future yabona ngoba vele ayi ikhona nayo lento yokuthi bonke labantu manje bahlubeteka bafati bafundisi hey abanye babo akubuta ukuthi ngibani manje ngibani lebeka kufonela yena lo hlabela ku priest team waya kufonela ngalesikhathi and lo muntu vele udzinga wena as a father but make mfundisi ukuthi no lo muntu akufuna kushayela ngalesikhathi lesi yabo lesi nje no
Pastor ngicela ngingena ngicela uhlaba pastor
okay
so lapho ke namake mfundisi uyahlubeteka because ngeke ngihlale nawe mina as your wife nemvulo kushayela ebusuku
I mean, this is my husband.
Yeah, this is my husband.
Okay.
Like the training shothi nakumake mfundisi nakhona yathi niyabamphana nje because nabo sebayalimala babe bekangidadishisa la sebayangifone sebayamfonela babe soyangishiya uyabo lokusho ukuthi vele everyone asingabe recycling ukuthi
kukhulu into lena because yabona nangifundisi sometimes kulukhunje ukuthi soyashama ke bani angisabamba ifone what if uyagula kufuna ngimthandazela umuntu umthandazela akhona naye umkama but umkama athi lo ungakhulumi naye yabo sugcina but nje but nje lokunye lengucabangako mina nalokuthi labantu labadzala man we are Africans siyathi ukuthi indlela ibutwa kulabasembili nengivungaza ukuthi kulamanye nje ama sessions lapho sikhuluma khona indaba abo gender based violence singaye sibe nawo labantu abadzala yabona lokushela ukuthi kahle bona lebekonde ukuthi lama cases abe mancane ngesikhathi sabo yini lesilahleke kuko ngoba seriously thina silahleke ku parenting mina nangibuka yabona asafundiseki nje lokho ukuthi wena nawo indvodza tsanza umkakho amfishane tsanza umkakho angafunzi tsanza umkakho bamrape before tsanza umkakho bekathanzana nalomunye umuntu before but love your wife unconditionally yabona asakwathi lo nalokuthi wena as a woman you must respect your man unconditionally whether educated noma kase educated noma yabona sekude lento le ukuthi vele thina sibiyele kulama roles lawa la ngilo nala la biblical plus futhi nalawa la suka le move gender based violence cases I think bengasika ngaka nje nawubuka nje even 20 years back bengasikuka so
yeah I'm picking a lot. You remember the objective of this podcast is for us as different stakeholders formulate strategies. Have you seen that the questions that we've been using them to lead our discussions are probing a lot of things that are lying underneath? That's your action plan, Mabemfundis, that you're taking home with to your environment or to your community. But say, I've realized that we need to do ABC. Same with the media. We've also had a list of things. I hope you're noting that somewhere because we really need to put them together, consolidate those ideas, put them together as a strategy because the aim is to fight gender-based violence.
Yeah, now that we've highlighted most of the social issues that are aligned in the media houses, in the churches that we every Sunday go to. I often say to people, you cannot violate me at work because it constitutes half of my day. Not half of my day, because from 8 to 5 I'm here. Imagine if this is the place where I'm violated. From church, the church perspective, I'm at church around 10 to 1:30. Imagine if there is violation in church. Already my time is wasted. and inside I'm not okay. You wake up to work and you realize that as you report issues, you are with me as the co-journalist in the room. And I always support men who beat women. How would that take you? Now you need to be strained at work because your sensitization has to start with me. Before it's even positive in that workspace. As you go out, you realize that the gender-based violence that you had is not what's happening on the ground. There are real matters, real issues. There are a lot. But I also like that you highlighted positive parenting. To say it has to start from the root levels. As a child, I should know that this is violence. This is how I should carry a man. This is how I should carry a woman. This is how we should be conducting the code of conduct, even at home, at work, at a bus rank, in church, at a shopping mall, anywhere that we are. Ubuntu, spirit of Ubuntu, you've already highlighted that. But also, I think another part of our podcast is that we are having a closeout from community leaders who will also share with us their perspective of gender-based violence on the ground, in the community level. We also have civil society organizations who will share violence primarily to workspace or anything happening in the different NGOs. And really, what are the strategies? We've collected the different strategies where we can fight gender-based violence, but that is our peak. More than the awareness raising for this podcast, it's also to collect the strategies, the mitigating factors. What are we going to do as we fight? We are really hoping to eliminate, but for now we fight. We fight until they are very reduced. We fight until there's behavior change. We fight until you can even say to a man older than you that as a man you do not do this because of ABC, because we're now sensitized. But thank you so much for gracing us with your lovely presence. We are hoping that we're still going to have more engagements even post this one. And also in our private spaces, we should be really tabling these issues and ensuring that we reduce gender-based violence in Eswatini. But it's fine. Thank you so